Hi friends, it's Mari from Horray Archives, and today we get to do something so fun. Now it was kind of hard for me to choose, but I don't think I've done this actually. And I guess to celebrate my 1 year being on YouTube, which sounds crazy to me, but I wanted to go over my 2025 stationery favorites because 2025 was a big year for me when it came to journaling. There's a lot of milestones that are, or a lot of goals that I have completed, and just, I don't know, just a lot of things that were happening. We started YouTube, we started the Etsy shop. And so 2025 was a huge year for us in a direction where we were able to express some of our creativity and to have a space where we can talk about, or where I can talk about my love of journaling and stationery and notebooks and journals and stickers and all of that stuff. So I thought it would be appropriate to celebrate this milestone of being on YouTube for a year and do a 2025 stationery favorites, because it played a huge role for such a success for 2025 creatively. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now I was thinking, well, it was really hard for me to pick my favorites. Like, how do you pick a favorite out of all your favorites? And so my thought process was, okay, let me just pick the items that I used a lot in 2025 that I reached for. And a lot of it you'll see in a lot of my videos because I constantly used it. And so let's go from there. So let's start off with the items on my desk. Now, I was thinking of how to categorize this, but I didn't have a solution for that. So let's just go over the items that are on my desk. Now, one of my favorite tools that I've used, surprisingly, was this brass tweezer. Now, I remember when I first saw the brass or the tweezers come onto scene with people taking like their stickers off of their sticker sheet, and I remember thinking to myself, like, why do they need tweezers? Like, you could just use your fingers. And I remember for the longest I was like, that's really not necessary, until I got one for myself. And honestly, it was the most useful tool in my toolkit because of the fact that, one, I have hyperhidrosis, so a lot of the times when I touch stickers, like, my hands could be sweaty, and sometimes it affects how I'm able to pick up the sticker, or even when I do pick up the sticker, the stickiness in the back interacts with my sweaty palms. And so this has been such a helpful tool for me. And then not only that, placement of my stickers. Now, I'm a huge sticker journaler, meaning I use a lot of stickers in my journaling. I do sticker journal, and so a lot of my stickers represent the things that I'm doing in my journal. And so this has helped a lot when it came to especially organizing my stickers, because as you guys know, I do organize my stickers by category, and each category has its own book. It's just the way I organize my stickers. And so just being able to use these tweezers to like pick up and put down stickers has been a game changer for me. And so this has been one of my favorite tools. And also when I'm journaling, to be able to place the stickers exactly where I need to put it in a lot more, what do you call it? Stealthier way. Is it stealthier? Accurate placement. So this would be one of my favorite stationery items for 2025. Okay, since I have this book here, this is another stationery favorite of mine that I've been using that has helped me in my journaling quest. This actually, I've had these. This is the Travelers Company sticker release books, and I actually had these for quite a while, but I never really used it until about the end of or middle of 2024, when I had made a decision that basically I told myself I need to use my stickers because I was hoarding it. But I just didn't know how to use my stickers in journaling. I guess the incoming was a lot more than the outgoing, and so in came these. And like I always had mentioned in my past videos, is whenever I get overwhelmed with things or with stuff, I create systems for myself, and in this case I needed to use my stickers. That was my problem. I needed to use my stickers, but I was overwhelmed with how many stickers I had, and I didn't have a system where I could like if I wanted to journal, I couldn't. There was just so many different categories, and they were all spread everywhere, and it was just a little chaotic to me. And so I needed to create a system for myself that kind of reined that all in. And so this is the system I came up with. And basically what I did was, I have a bunch of these sticker release books, and like I said, these are my favorite tools that I've used, and each sticker book has a category. Like this is just for animals, this is just for things and objects, this is for like my washi tape and like quotes and sayings, this is for nature related stuff, this is food related. And because I use a lot of food related stickers, I ended up having to kind of expand on this category, so now it has 2 books. And then this is my people category. And what I love about the system that I use using these sticker release books is that anytime I get washi or sticker, I take it out and I organize it in their respective sticker books. And so whenever I do journal, it's just a lot easier for my brain when I am documenting my day. And say, for example, I went shopping, I do know that, okay, I could either go into my food category or my people category and find stickers that would represent that specific task. Or if I'm just like in the mood of something floral, I go into this one and all my floral stickers are there. Now it is time consuming in the beginning to get all your stickers in these books, and trust me, it took me maybe like a good week for me to get that. But once I got my system down, it was just, as soon as I got a sticker or a new washi tape, I would process it, take a whole loop of that washi tape, and then put them in their respective sticker release books. So it's a lot of work, but then it's not. It kind of helps my future self. So when I go to journaling and wanting to use my stickers, it's a lot easier for me. I will put in the time to organize it this way, so when it does come to journaling, it's a lot easier for me. So this is my second favorite, not second, let's not put numbers on it. This is one of my favorite items in my stationery that I used for 2025, and it's these sticker release books from Travelers Company. Now there's a lot of, I think, other brands, but these are the ones I currently have, so I just kind of stuck with it. And I like the fact that it does fit in my Travelers Company standard size notebook and my passport size. Now you probably see this off size one. It's because I actually cut this because I needed a B or an A6 size. But yes, these are my favorites. Okay, let's go with these clips. Now, I actually purchased this in the beginning of 2025, maybe like the ending of 2026. But these are these little fish clips that I found from the Boston General Store. I'm probably butchering that up, but I'll put it on the screen. But when I first saw these, I absolutely love it because I love anything fish. I think they're just, I don't know, the whimsy of it. And I've been using it to clip down my pages when I'm journaling, but mostly I actually use them for my sticker release books as to keep them closed, because I have this stored in a little box on my desk. But to keep them closed, and not only that, to kind of be a little handle for me to grab these notebooks. So these are one of my favorite ones, and they always have this constantly in stock. So I think they were like either $2 or $3 each, and I just, whenever I do shop from there, I always grab a couple. Except for the last order, I didn't grab a couple because I felt like I had enough. But these are great little gifts to give somebody or to yourself. So again, a favorite of mine that I use constantly. Okay, another thing too that I loved in my stationery journey is junk journaling. And so these have been items that I constantly use for my junk journaling. I actually have, oh, here it is. Are these adhesive tape runners and then this glue stick. Now this actually this one is not very good. Actually, I have a one that I typically use, but I ran out of little adhesive. I don't see it anywhere, but I do have like a tape runner that I constantly use. I have to actually buy the refills, but these are little glue things that I use for junk journaling. And especially this, I particularly like using glue stick over the adhesive runner. I only use the adhesive runner for just certain things like maybe pictures, or because of the fact that you only get so much in a roller. But this glue, I don't know what brand this is. Is it? Oh, it is a Kokuyo glue. They have different kinds. I have like all sizes and they have different types, but I like using this for my junk journaling. So I have like, I think like 2 or 3 different sizes and types, and I also have another type that I use. I haven't started using it, but this has been my favorite glue to do junk journaling and to glue ephemera or whatever in my journal. So another favorite stationery that I love. Okay, next up is, let's see, we'll go with this, is correction tape. I absolutely love, this is the Midori brand. Their correction tape, they come in, I think 2 sizes. There's the 5 and I think the 3 millimeter. Yeah. And then they come in 2 colors, which is the cream and white, which is perfect for Hobonichi and Midori paper. And so I absolutely love using this and I actually need to buy more because I am running out. But this is a must-have if you are on like cream paper or like Midori paper or the white paper. I love this. There's also another brand that carries like an even smaller millimeter to fit in the grid on the Hobonichi Weeks, but this has worked for me so far. So this has been a great stationery item that I've enjoyed and used up over and over again. Yeah. Okay. Another item is this mini dater. I love this because of the size of the date. Now, to give you a reference on how it looks, let me stamp paper. I use this a lot in my journaling, but I just love the font of it and the size of it. It fits perfectly in the grid. And so this is something that I use all the time. I got this from Amazon. It's called Shiny Mini Dater S300. And it's been something that has been staying on my desk and I constantly use all the time. And actually, while I have this out, this is another favorite item of mine. This is the MD paper block. It comes in different, I believe it has grid and then blank and maybe even lined, but it comes with, I think, 500 pages. Ooh, it comes in like 500 pages. I had this for 2 years and I still have a lot, and I use this a lot, especially if like I like to swatch, make notes, even in my journaling. It's just one of my favorite. It's MD paper, and so this is one of my favorite stationery item that I've been using throughout the year for 2025, but throughout the year. Okay, next up is my stamp stuff. Now, I have a bunch of stamps, but there are certain stamps that I have been using quite a lot, and it's basically most of these right here that's in this little wooden box. I have these bear stamps that I got from the Pinky Elephant. It is from, I think it's Ramu, I think is the designer. I'll have to pop it up on the screen for you guys, but a lot of these are the stamps from them. I use these teddy bear ones a lot, especially for my weather. I use this a lot, the Archive and Publishers Company. That's from Raw Market Shop, I think in Taiwan or Singapore. Again, I'll pop it up on the screen. So this is one of my favorite stamps that I've been using. And this little case actually came from, it was a product that I had bought from Japan. It was like a wooden box, and so I just use the top and the bottom to hold my stamps, and it's worked out, and so it's just kind of been sitting on my desk. But that has been a favorite, and this is always my all-time favorite when it comes to stationery items, when it comes to ink pads. It's the Shishihata ink pad. It's, let's see, it's all in Japanese, I can't read it, but they come in all different colors, and they also come in a smaller size, like a square size if you want something smaller. But these are the colors that I currently own, but I use a lot of my black ink, but I do use these a lot, so especially in my journaling. So that has been a favorite. Another favorite of mine that I've been using is something that I've made, and it is this washi holder, washi tape holder that I've been using. I actually made this little cover or case from a cut down traveler's notebook. You guys probably seen my ink swatch version. This is my washi tape version. So this is something that I have used throughout the whole years and still remains one of my favorite items to use. But it just holds all of my washi tape. And so I keep all my rolls stored up, and I put all my washi tape in here. And so it allows me to have all my washi tape in a compact form all here. So this has been a favorite of mine. I actually need to refill some of these, but it allows me to just use up my washi tape, and it's really cute. I actually made a few of these a while back, so some of you guys might actually own one of these. I hope to make more of these, but it's hard to find traveler's notebooks that are beat up at a good price, because I usually use like beat up traveler's notebooks to kind of give it an upcycled life. And then another thing that I like to use are these cards that I made for myself, just because I made it with tabs, so it looks really nice when I put it in my journaling pocket. And I like to categorize my washi. In this case, these are the most used washis that I've been using for 2025, and I just love the color of it, and I love birds, so that's why it's on here. But yeah, these are my favorite washi tapes that I absolutely love. And I don't remember what, I think these are peon. Yes, these are peon designs. So most used washi that I use for 2025. Another tool that I've been using a lot, and I've always had this, is my beautiful, I don't know what brand this is. I got this back in 2017, but one of my favorite colors is indigo blue, and it's like this nice deep blue, and it's a whale, and I love whales. Who doesn't love whales? But it's a paperweight, and so this is one that I've always used in my journaling. It just helps hold down my pages when I need to, and it's just one of those beautiful items that I love, and I love seeing it on my desk, so it always is on my desk somewhere. So that is a favorite of mine. Another tool that I love using is the Tools to Live By pen. This is not a pen. Scissors. I love the look of it and how slim profile it is. It is a stainless steel. I do like the size of this. I do have smaller scissors, but this is one that I use a lot, and it's rubberized right here. Now, I do have to say that this is not the most comfortable scissors to use, especially when cutting fussy cutting stickers, something that I do a lot with my washi tape, my older washi tape, because now they're all like kiss cut, but like this is what I would use. And for long term, these hurt. So I wouldn't recommend long term. I do want to get more comfortable ones, but for something that is for quick jobs and super cute and looks really nice, this is one of my favorite tools that I have, that I constantly use. Now, another item that is a favorite of mine that I used in 2025 and every year are these Midori Slim tab metal clips. I love these. I know, like, I guess you can write on there if you want to, but I love using this in my journaling to tab sections. And I just love the slim profile of it, and it doesn't create any like bulk, and it also like it doesn't stick out too far. So it gives like this clean, minimalistic look, and I absolutely love these, and I will always use these. They come in different colors, I think silver and then gold and then maybe rose gold, or maybe the gold and rose gold are the same. Maybe it's just two, but I always have this in stock, and I keep make sure that I purchase whenever I am in a stationery shop and they have these. I always grab a pack because I always need these. Oh, back to stamps. Here's another item that I constantly used and loved in 2025, and this is from the Raw Market shop. This, whenever I was in my Hobonichi weeks, this was my go-to, and I love the fact that everything was kind of all in one. The days, the months, and the days, the months, and then the days. Yeah. And so I just like the fact, and then the fact that the numbers are double digits, so I didn't have to like individually put 1 and individually put 2 for 12. It was already together, and so this was my favorite, and it's in one of my favorite fonts, the typewriter font, which is my favorite font. So this was a favorite of mine, and it still is, and I still use it. Probably not as much as I did in 2025 because I'm not in a Hobonichi weeks where I had to redate my my pages. But whenever I do journal and I want to add dates, this is something that I would definitely pull or get at, or my mini daters, my mini dater stamp. Now, here's another item that has been a favorite of mine. Now, I'm not being biased, but I truly love this item, not only because I made it, but because it is very useful for me. It holds all my pens and markers of the week that I use, and I just love the look of this thing. You could put little charms on here, and it has, I made it in different colors, and hopefully in 2026 we will be releasing new colors. But I just love this little, it's called a tiny pen tote, and it's supposed to look like a tote, and you just plop it on your notebook, and it just looks super cute, and it's very functional. I have a 3-pen sleeve in there, and then you also can add other items in there, so it actually holds a lot, and it looks super cute. So this is one of my favorite items that I have in my stationery that I've used all year long, and I'm still using it. And I'm still in the dark brown one because I just absolutely love this one. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Okay, next up are, actually, since I already popped this out, are these. This is the Travelers Company kangaroo notebooks. They come in 2 sizes. They come in the A5 Slim as well as the A6 Slim, which is this size. What I love about this are the pockets, and this is what I used to organize my transfer stickers, and I kind of have it in categories. So I love that. And then also I hold all of my like tabs, my date tabs. Now this is another favorite of mine, stationery, is the Travelers Company sticker set diary. Now what this is, it comes with like transfer sheets, and then it comes with stickers, and then it comes with these. These are my most favorite when it comes to monthly tabs or weekly tabs. Actually, this is just monthly tabs, or little like information tabs. These are my favorites because that they come in two sizes. There's a large size and a smaller size, and I love using this in my, because I tend to use smaller notebooks, and so I love using this for my Hobonichi Weeks or my Techo. But they're also great on obviously the traveler's notebook inserts because they're the perfect size, and I like the font and the color that it comes in. It's very simple, and I like how it looks when it comes to putting them on my journal. And to kind of give you an example, I'm busting out my 2025 Hobonichi Weeks that I love so much. But as you can see, this is why I love using it, because they're so minimal. This is the small size, but I just love how it looks. And because I have so many, I can choose the colors. In this case, I chose blue and green to match the blue and green that was in my Hobonichi Weeks. So, but yeah. So we have this Traveler's Company Kangaroo Notebook is a favorite of mine that I've used. And then the Traveler's Notebook Custom Sticker Set that houses these, which is my all-time favorite. Now I use the A6 Slim one to house my ephemera. So that's all there. A favorite. Ooh, I got a lot of favorites. Let's go into pens. Now in 2025, I didn't do much with my fountain pen, so I can't really tell you any like favorite fountain pen inks or fountain pens. That will be for 2026 because I've been using my fountain pens and I have some favorites now. But in 2025, my favorites were in my gel pens, and one of my favorite items that I loved using in my journaling, I used often, was my Sarasa Zebra Sarasa clip pens in the vintage colors. I have all the colors, and I just love how this writes. It's in the 05 size, and it's one of my favorite pens to use in my journaling. Another one that I like using is the Sarasa Nano. And this is in the 0.38. Again, another favorite of mine. Another pen that I absolutely love was the Uniball one. These were my favorite pens as well to use. And then this one, because of the color, it's the Pantone, it's the Keiko Pantone in the 0.5. But this was my favorite because of this. It has a pop-up heart. And they actually came out with a fountain pen version, and I did buy the fountain pen version. That's on its way. But this was one of my favorite pens to use for 2025 when it came to my journaling. And it still is. But I've been using a lot of my fountain pens for 2026. So I don't want to say these got abandoned, but they're actually getting used a lot less than 2025. But there's a balance, right? I'm trying to keep a balance here. And since we're on the subject of pens, I have to show you my favorite markers that I've used for 2025. Now, these acrylic is mostly for 2026 because I didn't use any of these for 2025, but I did use a lot of these markers in my journaling. And it's the Sailor Shikiori brush pens. They are dual tip. They have the brush on the one side and then the fine on the other. And this has been my go-to. I absolutely love these brush pens. I will continue buying it. I just actually recently purchased another orange because the other one that I have ran out of ink, this one right here. And so it still writes on the fine side, but the brush side is not really working too well. So I did replace that one. I do have one more that I need to replace, but it's been my favorite and I will continue and constantly use it. These mild liners, I want to say I used them a lot for 2025, but I didn't. So I won't mention those because I didn't really use them a lot for 2025. Okay, now let's go into some bags, some storage things that I used. This has been one of my favorites for 2025. This is the Superior Labor Engineer tote in this clear vinyl. I actually owned a few of these in their canvas line, but I since sold them, but I kept this one because I absolutely love the fact that it's clear and I could see my items in there, because who would want to hide any of these? I want to see them. And so this has been my favorite tote and will be year after year. It's my only tote. So I absolutely love this one. And I hope they actually release more of these, because I know a lot of you guys were asking about this. I know this was a limited edition back in 2022, I think. So I don't see it very often. So sorry, hopefully they'll bring it back. But this has been one of my favorites. Another favorite of mine that I've been using is my small Delphonics utility pouch. Now, I haven't shown this a lot. I probably had shown this maybe once in one of my videos, but this kind of is on in the background. But I love using this because it actually holds my what I'm using as far as small sticker printers. I do have a big TSL pouch that holds all of my sticker printers. Some of my big ones that I use are my Instax that I just kind of have it housed on, or it just sits on my shelf. And it's big enough where I see it, so it's not like out of sight, out of mind. So these are the actual items. So I guess first things first, this right here is one of my favorites utility pouches. I actually have a bigger one, but the small one is the one that I absolutely love. And so that's what's been holding my, what do you call it? My sticker printers. Now onto another item that I absolutely love are my sticker printers. Now, okay, so this is actually new because I kind of had to replace my old HP sprocket because it wasn't really printing very well. I mean, it was printing, but it was just glitching, and it's just, I bought this back in 2017 or 2018. And so I just recently replaced it. Well, not replaced it. I'm still going to use that, but now I have two. But I replaced it with, or I added this to, it's the HP sprocket as well. And oh my gosh, what a difference from this to this. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, finally. But it's one of my favorites. So this will be in my 2026, but this is 2025 for sure, along with my Instax SP3 and these. So these are the sticker printers that I use for my journaling when I need to print out stickers, movie posters, book posters. These are it. So I think we're almost down to the last of the items. It's kind of a lot, but man, it was hard to pick. So for 2025, let's go into books, notebooks. Obviously, for 2025, my favorite was the Hobonichi Weeks. I am currently in a Hobonichi A6 Techo, but I absolutely love the Hobonichi Weeks. I'm fighting the urge to go back to a Hobonichi Weeks for my journaling and documenting because it just made sense for me. But I'm just kind of challenging myself to stay in an A6 Techo to see, you know, how it works and just kind of be a little bit more creative. But for sure, I believe for 2027, I will be back in a Hobonichi Weeks. I have a few older Hobonichi Weeks that I'm going to use versus buying a new one. Hopefully that stays true to the end of the year. Who knows? But it does have the old Hobonichi Weeks paper back in like 2018, 2019. So that's good. But this has been a favorite stationery item. Another favorite stationery item for 2025. How many times am I going to say 2025? 2025. Okay. Are my traveler notebook inserts. They have been my favorite way to junk journal all the stuff. And I have been kind of reusing old used traveler's notebook, like the monthly ones, because obviously they're dated and I use them for just before for appointments and stuff. And so because I didn't need that, but I didn't want to throw away the cover because they were so pretty, that I just used it for junk journaling. And so, I mean, the pages were going to get covered anyway, so that's what I did. I covered all the pages so you don't really see the things behind it. But this one right here is one of my favorite inserts. It's all of my stationery shop buys. Oh, Boston General Store. Did I say that in the beginning? That's where it was from, Boston General Store. But this is an insert that I absolutely love. It has all of like the thank you cards and the stickers from all the stationery shops. And I am not surprised that I completed this because I have been buying a lot of stationery stuff. But I am on to volume 2 of this. But I absolutely love these notebooks for that reason. And it'll stay as my favorite items probably for the rest of my life. Okay. Now let's go into covers. This has been obviously one of my favorite covers. This was my Hobonichi Weeks cover. You guys seen it in my videos for 2025. It was my favorite, and so much that I didn't buy any other Hobonichi Weeks covers because I want to continue using this for when I do end up using another Hobonichi Weeks, and I just want it to kind of grow and age with me. And so all it is a traveler's notebook that I cut down to fit a Hobonichi Weeks, and it's just one of my favorites. I absolutely love this notebook cover. This is what I use to connect the Hobonichi Weeks onto this cover. Although I did add this pocket, so this wasn't necessary, but I mean it was fine with this pocket, but just for added safety measure, I did add that. But this will stay one of my favorites for a while. So I couldn't make this video without mentioning my favorite Hobonichi Weeks cover, and it's this. Okay, also now I do want to talk about my favorite things I did for 2025, and it's these two. Now, I have videos about these two. This is two of my favorite projects that I did for 2025. One is this, where I found this clear rings planner binder, and it perfectly fit the Hobonichi pages. And so I had a few Hobonichi Weeks that that I used but didn't all the way use, and so I had all this extra paper, and I wanted to find a way to be able to use up that paper, and this was my solution. It fits the Hobonichi Weeks paper perfectly, and so what I use this for is for my social media, Etsy, creative outlet stuff. But this is what I use, and I just redate the days. And I just love this thing because I can use my Hobonichi Weeks and nothing goes to waste. So this has been one of my favorite projects. Another favorite project of mine was this. This is the Ace Hotel Traveler's Notebook in the standard size. It's in the camel. This has a lot of sentimental value to me. This is one of my very first traveler's notebook. This was also the traveler's notebook that I took when me and my husband flew to California to a Baum Kuhin the Superior Labor event where they did the Truly Yours, the very first one. And so first off, the TSL customized this themselves. They stamped it. They and then there was a trip with me and my husband. We like kind of went on all out. We like rented the most luxurious car, and we went to like all the Filipino restaurants because in Utah they didn't have that at the time. And so we ate and we enjoyed our time at this event. And so this has a lot of sentimental memories that I absolutely love this traveler's notebook. And so I was sad that I wasn't using this as much because I use this as a reference planner, but I use it as a traveler's notebook, and I just didn't like the setup for that, for a reference planner to use a traveler's notebook system. And so what I ended up doing, I love this, is that I converted it into a ring system. I have a video of it, but I just basically added this little ring system or ring binder to here, to the spine, and I didn't even have to make any extra holes because the holes lined up perfectly. I just had to make it a little bit wider for the screws to fit. But now it's perfect for my reference planner, and it has all of the important things I need, and it sits on my desk, and my kids know this is where they need to get if they need to get information. But this is one of my favorite projects that I did for 2025, and that I was able to use this traveler's notebook in a way where I can use it on a daily basis. So again, these were my favorite as far as like projects. Now for 2026, ooh, we're gonna have to top that. But okay, let me see if there's anything else that I'm forgetting when it comes to my favorites. I'm looking around, and honestly, all of these are my favorites, and it was really hard for me to, you know, pick. But I think I got the majority of the items that I absolutely love. Let's see. Any storage favorites for 2025? My favorite store, oh man, I have so many that are my favorites. I don't think I could pinpoint my favorite. I'm looking. Okay, there are two items that I absolutely love. One, because of the price, and two, because of how it looks, and three, what I actually store them in. So I'm gonna pull those up, and I think that'll be the last that you'll hear about my favorites for 2025. Oh, you know what? I did forget something as I am looking. Let me grab it really quick. I can't not have a favorites without mentioning this. And it's the A7 MD notebook. It is one of my favorite things that I've had in that I've used for 2025. And I use a blank one, and I use it for like my groceries and to-do lists, but I also use it for my sketchbook, which I guess is another favorite project that I did when I cut down a traveler's notebook to fit an A7 notebook. But this A7 notebook is my favorite pocket mini size notebook. And I can't believe I almost forgot to mention it in this video. This, and then I have my Louis Vuitton mini agendas that I found, that I hunted and scoured for to fit these little notebooks. So these are my favorites. I do have a video of it as well about the mini agendas and this A7 notebook. I can't believe I almost forgot. Glad I looked over. Okay, here it is. It's kind of large, but these are from Target. This is from the Hearth and Hand line, and these are the little metal suitcases. I actually have it in 3 sizes. I have this size, and then a smaller size, which is right here. Sorry, I'm not giving you guys the best angle. But what I loved about these were super inexpensive. I want to say like $10. And I have, and they're not like the best quality, but they sure look cute on my shelf. But like, this holds all my glues, and I just added a brass label for that. And then, I mean, they're okay quality. It's just the hinges are not very. And then this houses all my refills for my inserts for the rings, my ring systems. So this has been really very useful, and I love the look of it, and it has helped me keep me organized on my shelf. So put that back. Ooh, it's heavy. Okay, I think that is all my favorite items. I think. But either way, if I miss something, it's okay. I'll just talk about it in 2026. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little fun video of mine talking about my favorites for 2025. I didn't think I was gonna be showcasing my Hobonichi weeks in a 2026 video, but here we are. And I'm just excited to be able to pull that out for a video because I absolutely loved this. Okay, that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. We are having some crazy snow up here. We've had 2 snow days, so the kids have been home since Thursday, and it's okay because we love when they're home. But we've had lots of inches of snow. It's been crazy. So I'm going to, I guess, enjoy the rest of this day, get warmed up because it's quite cold, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.